What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We're here today with a video that just kind of came to mind. I figured, hey, let's go ahead and do it. It could be fun. Kind of look back on old times and talk about some stuff. So this is what we're gonna do. We're going to rank all of the Call of Duty games minus Cold War. I'll probably talk about Cold War, but it's not going to be on the list. So we'll go ahead. So we've got 6 tiers. We got the Hall of Fame up top. We've got amazing games, ones that can be close to being the best ever, but they're just not there. They're maybe just a step down. We got ones that are decent, ones that I would definitely kind of play, and then we go down to forgettable, and that's kind of where we would reach the point where I probably wouldn't go back and play it, unless maybe I got a big group of friends on or something like that. And then we got the trash, and then we have never played, because there's some that I haven't ever played, so I think it would be unfair for me to kind of place them onto a tier list without having ample time. So we'll go ahead and we'll get into it. I guess we'll start with the original COD. I never played it. I've seen some videos on it. I know it, or I believe it didn't have a multiplayer, but obviously, it was competing with Medal of Honor at that point in the early Xbox. And would that be PS1 days or PS2? Excuse me. So I didn't really play those, but I've seen some videos. Obviously, it set the tone for for the franchise, and so I think that's respectable, but I've never played it, so I can't really play that, or I can't really place that on a list. Call of Duty 2, same kind of thing. Never played it. I've seen videos on it, of course. It had a multiplayer, which looked cool, and there's some maps on there from Call of Duty 2 that are actually, that we've played in recent CODs before. They've been redone, so there's that. I've never really played it. Call of Duty 3, also never played it. I don't really have anything to say about that. If you guys played these, go ahead and let me know how they were in the comments, if they're worth picking up, if they ever go on sale or something like that, because I think it would definitely be cool to go ahead and try these out. So now we'll get into where I started playing COD 4, the original Modern Warfare. I didn't have a ton of time on this because I played on Xbox 360 growing up, and I started in the original Xbox and GameCube, and I went to Xbox 360, and I didn't really start with Call of Duty. I was more into Halo 3 and like Madden and sports games and stuff like that. But I had a really big focus on Halo, so I didn't really, unfortunately, get to play COD 4 in its prime. I kind of I got it. I played it years after. Still a great game. Still put a bunch of time onto it. This one was really the first that kind of set the tone really for what the multiplayer is going to be, and how the games are going to go moving forward. And it was so successful. That's why that formula of game is the same to this day. And so we had some really great maps. Guns were pretty good in this game. Some really memorable maps, and it was just a really good game. I don't know why I'm saying I never played it. I'm gonna put it in amazing. I think Modern Warfare is kind of it really set the tone, and that's definitely one of the better CODs out there for sure. I think kind of those bare bones, just early versions of games are just, that's where these companies succeed, because they don't have to focus on trying to maintain the consumer. They just can make their game how they want it, and community fell in love with it, and they took off from there. COD 4 is a great game. Up next we had World at War. I'm also going to put amazing. World at War is an awesome game. I still, to this day, play multiplayer on PC now that they have the servers on there, so you can just kind of pick whatever game you want. World at War is a really great game. Introduced zombies, which is still played to this day. We have zombies in Cold War, and the multiplayer was fantastic. We had some really good maps, really good streaks, and the game just felt really good. Again, simple, not overdoing it. It's bare bones game. Um, over the world wars, and uh, I think what really pushes this one to amazing over decent is the zombies. Because if it didn't have the zombies, yeah, the multiplayer was great, but following COD 4, I personally like COD 4's multiplayer a little bit more. But zombies pushed it over the top, and to have those original maps and to be able to hop on with your friends and just play endless waves of zombies, that was something that we didn't really have before, um, at least that I can think of. So bringing that new factor into the game while also having the multiplayer and the campaign was a whole new realm for us as gamers. And um, that's why I think it's almost Hall of Fame, but I wouldn't put it there for sure. Modern Warfare 2, Hall of Fame. Now I do think. Oh, excuse me if my voice sounds kind of weird. I'm getting over a cold. Um, Now I do think that people may get mad at this. We may overhype Modern Warfare 2 a little bit. I think it is definitely one of the best CODs of all time, if not the best COD. But like all of them, it did have its problems, right? We had the one man army garbage. We had the noob tube spam. We had commando issues. Um, the game had its fair share of issues, like all of them. But this is really kind of where it blew up, right? Like COD 4 really, it started that upward trend and it continued with World War, and then just complete peak with Modern Warfare 2. I mean, you have incredible maps. You got maps like Terminal, Favela, Afghan, all these memorable COD maps that companies still try and recreate today. You have insane guns like the ACR. You had the double 1887 shotguns. Like you had the Scar. You had the Intervention. Game was just unbelievable. And when I look back at my time on console and on Xbox 360, I always kind of think of Modern Warfare, and that was kind of the start of the peak time on those consoles. I grew up with a ton of friends. I just remember my whole school grade, like all the guys just on COD all the time. Everyone would have their different clans, and this was kind of the start of that for my generation, I guess, because I'm 21. So when Modern Warfare 2 came out, I was 9. So I wasn't really into COD 4 or World at War too early, just because I was young. Modern Warfare 2 is really when I kind of hopped in, and I try and look at this list without any bias, without any nostalgia, but I really do believe that Modern Warfare 2 is one of the better games of all time, not just for Call of Duty, but just better games of all time. Um, really carried consoles that are back in the 2010s and the late 2000s, and um, there was a lot of good times on that game. The game was very good. Had its issues, like I said, but it was a very good game. So up next we got Black Ops, Hall of Fame. Black Ops, incredible. Brought back zombies. Had new maps. You had DLC coming in. You had a wonderful multiplayer. I mean, you had fantastic maps again. Map design over this span of the golden age of COD was incredible. You had things like Nuketown, which is in every Black Ops game to date because it was so successful. You got things like Summit. You got Jungle. All these um, memorable maps. You had fantastic firing range. How could I forget about firing range? You had all these wonderful guns. Game seemed balanced. The game was a good pace. Time to kill was good. It was fun, and all the fans carried over from Modern Warfare 2, and all of a sudden, we're starting to realize we're in this golden age of Call of Duty and then games, and everyone was just having the time of their lives. You got the DLC coming in, you got all the zombies maps, you got Moon, you got Shangri-La, you got Call of the Dead, you got Ascension, you got all of these fantastic maps. You have Kino, which is just unbelievable, and 5. Black Ops Black Ops for me is just incredible. It's an incredible game. Black Ops for me was really when my group of friends kind of all got on together because on on COD 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, all that was kind of just me by myself. Black Ops is when my group of friends all kind of got on, and that's when we would start running these games, and it was just those were times that I'll never forget for sure. Black Ops was such a good game. Modern Warfare 3, I'm putting Hall of Fame. I love Modern Warfare 3. That might be my favorite COD of all time. I have stupid time on Modern Warfare 3. Um, you know, not super different from Modern Warfare 2, right? But same menu layout, same lobby stuff. Similar gun choices. You still had an ACR, you had a UMP, you had a P90s, things like that. But you know, felt fresh. It felt great. It felt modern at the time. No zombies. You had that special ops game mode. I put a little bit of time into that. Wasn't anything too special, but I think the multiplayer was one of the best multiplayers I've ever played, and I just put so much time into the game. That's probably one of the CODs that I have the most hours in. It's probably that and Black Ops 2, but um, I just have so many memories, and I still play it to this day on PC. Granted, there's not hackers in the lobbies, but Modern Warfare 3 is a fantastic Call of Duty. Black Ops 2, you know where I'm putting it. Hall of Fame. Um, it's either MW3 or this for my favorite CODs of all time. And Black Ops 2 really pushes the territory for one of my favorite games of all time. I had a ton of hours on Modern Warfare, and I said maybe I have the most in that. I'm starting to think now. Um, I had the most hours in Black Ops 2. I hit Prestige Master really quick, like a month in or something like that. All my friends were on it. This was actually the last game that I would play on console. Um, I just remember getting a day one, playing first game I ever played was on Drone. They introduced the Pick 10 system, which was something that we hadn't seen before, and it added a new level of customization to your classes without making it crazy. Because before, it was okay. Pick your primary weapon. You're gonna have an attachment on it. Pick your secondary, and then you're gonna have 3 perks. You're gonna have your streaks, and that's really it. And then your grenade, your tactical. But now it was, hey, I don't have to take a secondary, and I can use that and take a second perk. Or, I don't want any blue perks, so I'm gonna take a secondary, and I'm gonna take 3 extra attachments on my primary or something like that. Like, this was something that we had never seen before, and I think that was a very good innovation at the time. I think map design was fantastic. We have them remaking maps in Cold War. They just remade Hijacked a couple months ago. That's from Black Ops 2. Obviously, you had another Nuketown remake. You had Slums. You had Standoff. You had trying to think of one more good map. I'm blanking at the moment. Drone, not a good map, but that's one I could think of. Not a bad map, but map design was really good. And then you had zombies. This was the best zombies for me. My favorite zombies of all time. Buried is my favorite zombies map of all time. TLC in Black Ops 2 was really good. I thought it was really good that year. I had the season pass, so I got all the maps, and it was just like every single pack was really, really good, and the zombies maps were really good. I mean, Die Rise was really good. You had Die Rise, you had Mob of the Dead. Like, everyone knows Mob of the Dead. They redid it in COD Black Ops 4. You had Buried, and you had Origins, which they also, they put it in Black Ops 3. And, and was Origins in Black Ops 4? I can't remember. But the maps were just incredible. The game was just incredible. The campaign was pretty good. Like, and that was the first campaign where you can change the way the story went by making specific decisions. So Black Ops 2 was really just, it was the end of the golden years, right? I look at the golden years as the 4 I have in the Hall of Fame, from Modern Warfare 2 all the way to Black Ops 2. Those games were amazing, and I don't think you'll ever find another franchise of games that has such a fantastic 4-year stretch. Um, And I look back at it as they probably thought, it was getting stale and they wanted to try and start to innovate. But I feel like the COD community would have taken another year or two of those style of games. Um, that's just me. I don't know. And then so they did try and do that, right? We had Ghost. I'm gonna put Ghosts in forgettable. I don't think it was a bad game. I really don't think Ghost was a bad game. I just think that it was forgettable. And this was the first one where I made my switch over to PC. So my experience may be a little different from you guys that were on console, but multiplayer wasn't bad. Maps were okay. It just, it's hard to live up from going from Black Ops 2 to the Ghost. Like you had your personal canine unit that had the chem strike, which would change some of the maps. That was cool. We hadn't really seen that before. Some decent guns like the Honey Badger. Everyone remembers that. Um, I can't remember the one map. It was like the hot dog. The loading screen was like the hot dog stand. It was the one that would get completely destroyed by the chem strike. Can't remember that. But that was a good map. Like there were some good things in Ghosts, but like I don't know. They had the extinction game mode that was cool for a little bit, and then for me it got old. I don't know. I think it was okay, but just kind of forgettable, and not a bad game. Like I would be interested now to go back and replay it, but I definitely don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Like when I think of Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 3, like I wish I could get back onto those games right now with 100,000 people online. With Ghosts, yeah, it is what it is. And I remember they had the pre-order bonus. They had that, I think it was called Free Fall, that DLC map where it would change mid-game, and that was just like not good. Like the whole map would shake when the building was falling and all this stuff, and it kind of signaled the downward trend for the next couple years. After Ghosts, we went to Black Ops 3. I'm gonna put it in amazing. No, not Black Ops 3. Sorry, we had Advanced Warfare. I'm gonna put in decent. I had a fair amount of time on Advanced Warfare. I had some fun with it. It was definitely more enjoyable within the first half of the year. Maps were pretty cool. Obviously, you had the new exo system. You had the new movement system. That was really cool. You had the different exo abilities and the futuristic. This was the first kind of futuristic game that we had. We had zombies in it, which was honestly, thinking back about it right now, I actually did really like the zombies. It was enjoyable. I had a good amount of time on it, and I'd actually be willing to go back and play some of that right now. The zombies was pretty good. But multiplayer was decent. The only real problem I had that's holding it back from an amazing game is the supply drops and the pay to win factor. Yeah, the supply drops. They had the different gun variants, which was cool. We had never seen different gun variants before, but they were gun variants, and some of them were better than the others. And so you have the people that can afford to spend parts of their paycheck on ripping supply drops to get the best version of their gun, or the people that are willing to do that. And I just I wanted to save money. I didn't think it was worth it. And so as the year went on, you're playing against everyone that has different variants of guns, and yeah, you can get them by playing, but it was a lot harder, and you had to grind, which kind of sucks. But and I just remember there was really two guns that were good in the game, and everything else kind of sucked. You had the BAL 27, and was it the ASMR? That was like you used one or the other, or otherwise you would lose pretty much all your gunfights. And then they had like the laser gun, so it's kind of weird. Guns weren't really balanced in that game, and it's hard to balance when you have 1,000 different gun variants. So Advanced Warfare, I put a good amount of time into it. Play with some friends. It's decent. I really wouldn't move it anywhere else. Like, it had the chance to be really good, right? It was the first futuristic COD we got, but it wasn't amazing. Then we went to Black Ops 3. Gonna put it in amazing. Step up from Advanced Warfare, right? Smooth movement system. Smooth guns, felt like a Black Ops game, but modern and innovative. You had the introduction of specialists, where they had different abilities. You got the guy with the flamethrower. You got the guy with the robot with the arm that turns into the machine gun. The guy with the bow and arrow. Like those were cool. Maps were good. I remember playing the beta for this game, and the maps were what had sold me. Um, streaks were streaks were pretty good in Black Ops 3. Actually, I guess I haven't really been talking about streaks, but streaks were really good in Black Ops 3. Um, Specialists didn't seem too broken. Maps were good. Had zombies on PC. I don't know if you guys know if you played on console, but PC we actually get custom zombies maps that we can download. So that's really cool. And then I really like the base zombies map. I didn't get the DLC for the new ones. I got the Zombies Chronicles, which have the old maps obviously, but I didn't get the newer maps. But the base zombies map, the New York City one, was really really good, and everything about Black Ops 3 was just really really good. Um, I kind of got bored throughout the whole year, um, and this is kind of where I started getting bored um, of CODs and stopped kind of playing throughout the whole year. But Black Ops 3 definitely amazing COD. I wouldn't put a Hall of Fame just because I don't think it deserves it. But it's definitely not a bad game. After that, we went to World War II. I'm gonna go forgettable. I actually switched back to console for World War II. I don't know why I did. Um, yeah, I cannot think of why I went back to console. I just did, and I played it for a couple months, but couldn't really get my aim back like I had on MW3 Black Ops 2. But World War II, like, it was cool. I was so excited because we had 2 years of um, the exo movements and futuristic stuff. Oh my gosh, we're getting a World War II game, which I'm really hyped about, and it's boots on the ground. Like, this is gonna be awesome. And then, you know, it was Sledgehammer. Sledgehammer did all right with it. I thought the hit detection in this game was actually really good, but maps were not really that good. Streaks kind of sucked in my opinion. Like, you had the ball turret gunner, which was okay, I guess, but I think I remember it being really short. Or you had the cruise missile, but it wasn't a cruise missile. The glide bomb, that was like a predator missile. That was cool, but other than that, streaks kind of blew in my opinion. And I don't remember having a wide variety of gun selection in this game. I just remember the maps being really mad. We had zombies, but I didn't play the zombies. I played it like one time, and I thought the map was trash, so I just didn't play it. Like, I enjoyed the multiplayer for a little bit, maybe a couple months, maybe 2 or 3 months. I had my friends on the game, but after that, it just got really old, and I went back to playing games on my PC. So, World War II, not a bad game. I'd definitely be interested in retrying it, like I said, for Ghost, but yeah, I don't know. Just forgettable, I guess. Where did we go from there? I guess we would have gone to Black Ops 4. Decent. I got sick of Black Ops 4 halfway through the year. I probably played it for about 4 months, and then that was it. This is where they introduced like the stim shots and the higher time to kill, the higher health bars. I thought that was a great change. I thought that was a fantastic change. I like higher time to kill. It gives you more of a chance to outplay opponents, because then, if you're fighting someone that can't aim, you can actually aim and kill them. Zombies maps were okay. Excuse me, I'm gonna sit up. My chair is gonna squeak. Zombies maps were okay. I didn't really play any DLC on this, but that we had the Titanic map, and you had that Greek Colosseum or the Roman Colosseum map off my memory. Those were pretty cool. Didn't play DLC, although I kind of wish I did. I saw some of the videos, and those looked really nice. Of course, you had Blackout, which probably should have been free, and I think the game would have been played much more if Blackout was free. Because Blackout was actually really good. Blackout was really good. Multiplayer was actually really good too. Like, I had a lot of fun with it. Streaks were good, but Black Ops 4 just kind of got old for me. Um, I'd be interested to go back and try it now, but that had DLC weapons too, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think part of the reason I stopped playing Black Ops 4 is because it had the DLC weapons, the supply drop stuff like that. I can't remember for sure, but I believe so. But game was good early. I had some fun on it. So put a good amount of time. It's kind of like Advanced Warfare. Could have been great, but it wasn't. Blackout though was really good. Infinite Warfare, did not play it. Seen some videos. Would be cool to try it, but the game looked really bad. Looked more of like a Destiny, Halo mix than an actual COD. But I don't know. Looks interesting. I'd definitely be down to try it, but I'm not gonna pay $60 for it. I was kind of done with COD at that point, up until Modern Warfare came back, and then that's where I'm gonna put it at decent. Maps were so bad in Modern Warfare. It was just, I got so bored of the game because the maps were so bad, and then they came out with Shoot House, and so then okay, my friend and I played Shoot House only, and that gets pretty old fast. And then they put in Shipment. Okay, so we played that for a month, and then that got old, and then we stopped playing the game. Gunfights were really good. Guns were decent. I remember abusing the 725 when it came out, sniping people with a shotgun. That was cool. Streaks were good. I remember getting a bunch of gunships in this game. But it was all on Shoot House. Like the maps were just horrible, and that's what brings the game down from amazing, because it felt good. The game played good, good speed. You had that tactical sprint. But the maps were just so ass. They were just so bad. Warzone was cool. Warzone was dope. Still play that to this day. Not a ton, but it's pretty dope. So yeah, Modern Warfare, decent, I guess. It's not forgettable. Like I definitely don't regret my time on any of these games. It's just a decent game. And then finally, Cold War. It's not on here, but I would put it on decent. I have a lot of time on Cold War, but kind of the same thing. The maps are really bad, and so I only play Nuketown, and I run around with dual magnums, which are beyond broken. Zombies is pretty cool in Cold War. I've played like half the campaign. It's like Modern Warfare. It's decent. Gameplay's good. I like the Cold War aspect. I like the guns. I like the streaks. Wish they added dogs. I thought I read something like 9 months ago that dogs were going to get put in the game. I'm surprised they didn't, because in my opinion the game lacks airstreaks. And now that I talk about it, airstreaks, getting a gunship and then having some kids sit on an air patrol all game and just insta shoot down my gunship sucks. Like that's horrible. But and yes, I know you can counter the enemy air patrol, but maps just horrible maps. The only maps that I really like in this game are Nuketown, obviously. They added that mall map back in like December. That one's really cool. And they added one other map at that time, but I can't remember what it is. Yeah, I don't know. But game's decent. So that's my list. Let me know what you guys think down below. What did you play COD on? Did you play it on console? What console did you play it on? PC? Let me know. I'm interested. Where would you put these games? What do you disagree with? What do you agree with? I'd love to hear it. So thank you guys for watching. Maybe we'll do another game tier list, because this was actually fun to talk about. I can't believe I just sat here and talked for a half hour. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.